Hello there ladies and gentlemen, this is Totally Honest Mobile Game Reviews. And today we are gonna be reviewing the game GreenQuest Origins. This game is literally fresh off the store and it's the prequel title to the game GreenQuest. Yes, without the Origins. I really have to commend the creativity put on into titling these two games. Just look at this, very creative indeed. Surely the gameplay is 100% totally different from one another. But before we start reviewing, there's a high possibility that you just randomly found this video floating on the internet and have no idea what both games are all about. So allow me to tell you. The GreenQuest series is a text-based old-school role-playing game where you work for a corrupt council and save the world for minimum wage. Explore dungeons, fight enemies, gather loot, and read gigantic walls of text all in an extremely repetitive manner. That's the gist of it, so let's get on with the video. The game's mechanics are pretty much the same with the first game, only with a few slight differences. Most notable are the different attributes, like Jesus Christ! Finally, some proper attribute distribution, just like your typical generic RPG. Look at GreenQuest, it doesn't have attributes, and it's called an old school RPG? Pathetic! Origins on the other hand, so good. Attributes are everything. They affect your stats, which allows for a wide variety of character builds. But wait! There's more. They are also crucial in event outcomes, meaning that the event success chances are dependent on your attributes. Finally, our prayers have been heard. But wait! There's even more. So you have perks in the game now. Perks are either active or passive, depending on its description, as well as additional equipment slots. Compared to the previous game where your character is so dumb that it doesn't have the common sense to wear a necklace and a ring at the same time, GreenQuest Origins now have multiple equipment slots, and with it, further diversifies the character build varieties. You wanna make a melee build? Yes, you can. You wanna make a critical build? Yes, you can. You wanna make an overpowered untouchable build? Yes, you can. Progression in this game is very different, I assure you. It is 100% totally exactly the same as the first game. Explore, fight, loot, and read, all in an extremely repetitive loop. And who doesn't want that? The game's progression is literally the same as in the first game. The progression is linear, meaning that you have to finish one area first before moving on to the next. Very standard progression scheme for RPGs. Also, just like the first game, of course, you would start out naked. No matter how many equipment slots you have, you always start naked. Yep, just you, in your underwear versus the world. Just like in real life. The more you progress, the more loot, enemies, and story you'll be able to see or encounter. My personal favorite is when I'll get my very own ship, which I can then marry and make it my wife. Literally. The ship is then carried around by your crewmates during your dungeon explorations. Oh, you think you sail in this game? No, you don't sail in this game, ladies and gentlemen. Instead, you go around having your ship carried by your crewmates behind you at all times, as you enter and explore caves, ruins, forests, deserts, and a bunch more illogical locations.
Ya están aquí. Miren, bañador. La chancla. Todo despeinado porque no me dio tiempo nada ponerme la chancla y el bañador. Voy a la playa, había subido la marea.
The game has events that randomly appear as you explore in dungeons. These events can either benefit you or burden you, depending whether it's a success or a failure, just like in the first game. But one major difference is having the choices of these events tied to your character attributes, basically meaning that stats matter in decision making. An example is if your character has high strength, then choices that require strength will have a high success chance, and etc. Besides that, there isn't really anything else but more flavor for the game's lore, which is still good on its own as it is a text-based game. Just like in the first game, the game is balanced. It's only slightly difficult as the game is a lot more complex compared to the first game. Complex because of the variety in builds that are available at the start of the game. There are multiple spells, skills, as well as different weapon types. There's slashing, hacking, stabbing, and crushing, all complete with their own skill trees. It's gonna take some time for you to find out which one's more superior than the other, and you might find yourself underpowered most of the time because you chose the wrong weapon type. But overall, it's all good as you have spells to help you with that. Once you get a hold of the game, it's all smooth sailing from there. Compared to the first game, GrimQuest Origins is actually slightly easier or harder. Entirely depends on your build. If GrimQuest was like Dark Souls, Origins is still like Dark Souls, except everything's happy. Have fun suffering! Well, good news, fellow noobs! The RNG of this game is slightly less punishing compared to the first game. Due to the stat attributions, you have more control over succeeding in dungeon events as well as your own character build. Needless to say that the percentages are shown on event choices, making it very easy for you to know which option is more beneficial to you, as well as other percentages like retreat chance and ambush chance, giving you more control over the RNG. So for this game, the RNG gods have granted us a slight pardon when it comes to the random things that happen in the game, which is hella good. Of course, just like the first game, well, basically most mobile games out there, this game has microtransactions. But, to our luck, in-app purchases are 100% not required for you to unlock any part of the game, or in fact, finish the game. This game is 100% not pay to win, nor pay to play. Microtransactions are just there as a way to support the developer and the development of the game. You are not in any way required to spend money just to progress or unlock anything in the game. And that is hella good. Of course! It's a free mobile game, ads exists. But to what extent? That is the question. Ads in this game, just like in the first game, are only limited to banner ads. What? A mobile game with no automatically playing video ads? That's impossible! Oh my lord! Yes, ladies and gentlemen, this game's ads are only banner ads. Not intrusive in any way, and it's at the very bottom of the screen, and does not take up at least half your screen. Sure, there are video ads whenever you want to collect wages, but why do you wanna do that? Collecting wages are just a small gold boost whenever you run short on funds, and you are not obligated to always claim them and watch ads. If you want to avoid ads entirely, then you can always go offline. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, this game can be played offline. So no intrusive ads and only banner ads. Now that's some good stuff right there. I personally would like to commend the developer's ever-growing balls for his courage and bravery for calling people out. If you've seen the developer responses on 1-star reviews on the GrimQuest games, then you'll see that they're quite hilarious to read. Look at this one. Poorly balanced and the game for some crazy reason gets harder as you level up regardless of where you are. Nonsense! It gets harder as you progress? Who'd have thought? Lol, this game sucks. Monsters get stronger 4 times faster than you do. On easy mode. Someone skipped the tutorial. Goron is a spastic anchor. I don't know what anchor means. Is that a British thing? Was 5 stars, played for ages, but the ad is so distracting on a black and white background. I get it, but this makes it unplayable for me. Uninstall. Also, Gorin is an Ianka. What? You're a real special cookie. Best is a 5 stars review. Dude, your app catch my eye, and I decided to check the review. Ooh, wow! You own it. Passive-aggressive sarcasm. Cause of your response, I will play the game. Cool, smiley face. Enemies are just icons? Dev could do a better job to make it more interesting. It's a text RPG. Dude, what did you expect? Too hard, even on easy. I found myself being unable to explore entirely the dungeons because of monsters. Even with a full sanity, 3% chance to run into manifestations, I was running into 2 or 3 fights a dungeon on top of the normal monsters. This game claims to not be pay to win. That's a big stupid lie. I want to really have fun but shell out at least $12 or more gold or $20 for a weapon pack. I was unimpressed. Monsters in a dungeon? Ah, who would have thought? How the hell do you even fight? Use your fingers, mate. And you get the point. Yeah, developer responses are amazing. And just to emphasize the balls of this man, check out the studio's website. In a rejection of modern monetization practices, which we see as anti-gaming, the balls on this man. Our games are free to download and feature unobtrusive removable ads, and completely optional in-app purchases. No ads jumping at your face at random every few seconds. The balls on this man. No content locked away behind cash walls. The balls on this man. We let our games speak for themselves and allow you the freedom to reward us for our efforts if you wish to. And finally, the balls on this man. Before I end this video, here's a 3-minute no commentaries, uncut and unedited gameplay. You judge on your own whether it's worth to play it or not. And this is the end of the video. I really hope that you guys enjoyed it as much as I had fun making it. Have a good day or night, and see you guys in the next one.